Before we dive in, a quick shout out to the community that makes this possible. This show is brought to you by the You Run Podcast Network, a space where everyone is heard, loved and welcomed. To support the creators and find your next favourite show, please visit yourunpodcast.com.
You want to die tonight?
Late at night, I tune into your show, where you talk horror with a unique flow. Your voice is like sirens, draws me in, as you pick apart movies on murder and sin. Scott and Mark set the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's fucking long roundups. You run podcast, horror movie review, sharing facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after you fled. You run podcast. You run podcast.
Hello and welcome to the You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review. My name is Scott.
My name is Mark.
And we are your hosts today and every other Tuesday as we bring you horror movie reviews chosen by you on our Instagram page, which is at You Run Podcast. We do interactive features, we do games, we do fun, silly behavior, and we're just the most authentic, honest, and amazing podcast that you are ever going to find.
You're so full of shit, dude.
I know, but you never know. Someone might buy it. If you've never listened before, we will give you our review and score of the movie up front with a little bit of a synopsis. We'll then do a deep dive into the things we liked and the things we didn't like. We scatter facts throughout the movie, so lots of production facts and behind the scenes stuff. That's kind of all within our review. After a brief roundups, we dive into interactive features like 3-word review before playing a game, which this week is called That Fish Made Bank.
Cool. I can kind of see where that's going to go, and I think I'd be quite good at this game.
I think you'll be, well, I say I think you'll be good at this game, but when I looked at The Fish That Made Bank, I was like, fuck off, that made that much money? Shit me.
If Flipper's not on your list, I'm going to be extremely disappointed.
But Flipper is not on my list because Flipper is not a fish. Flipper is a mammal.
Oh, that's embarrassing for me. I do apologize.
Especially as they mention it in the movie that we're reviewing today. They make a big point of saying it's not a fish, it's a mammal.
Nobody listens to the dialogue in this movie.
Well, this is very true. Today we continue sequels month as we dive into a film that everybody hates and me and Mark love unconditionally, and that is Jaws 3D. Do you want to take your synopsis and score first this week as a change of pace instead of me just diving in head first?
Yeah, I can do. It's very difficult to sum up Jaws 3D because I know Jaws is a franchise that's very highly regarded, especially those who love the original. But I think the Jaws franchise brings in two different type of people. You've got the diehard fans of the original that hate everything that came after it. And then you've got the fans like me that probably rank these movies back to front, starting with Jaws the Revenge and working its way up. Do you know how like you get those graphs where it's like a fuck around and find out thing with the cross? Yeah, that's kind of my love with Jaws, especially starting off with Jaws the Revenge and into 3D and stuff. This movie is not one to be taken seriously. It's littered with flaws from start to finish. The CGI is incredibly terrible. The 3D, I don't even know if this actually even works. Like, I'm not from an era where I wore 3D glasses in the cinema, but I do not know if this is any good or not. It's extremely entertaining to watch in a 2D platform and see it on screen. However, the actual mechanics behind it, I'm not too convinced on. I will try it out one day. As I say, I do have Freddy's Dead and I do have the glasses, like I mentioned last week. So I'll probably do that soon just to see. I don't like the recasting of Quaid's sons. Not the Quaid sons. The sons in this movie who are the leads of, is it Hopper? I want to say Hopper.
Brody.
Brody, that's the one. Again, you can see I'm not the diehard Jaws fan you think I am. I don't like the recasting of the sons. I think it's pivotal on a franchise basis that when you continue on with the connecting story, that the characters continue on as well from that story. And I think the recasting, as much as I love Dennis Quaid, I really liked who he was in Jaws 2. But yeah, overall, it's a bad movie, but it's hilariously bad, you know. And I love the last act of this movie. It brings me joy every time I see it. I don't care too much for the first half of the movie. I think there's a lot of weird, wonky dialogue that doesn't go nowhere, a lot of character development that doesn't require the level of depth and detail that it goes into, because the characters are just not that enjoyable to watch on screen. However, I like this movie a lot. It's not my favorite Jaws movie. But it's fun, and I'm probably going to enjoy talking about it more tonight than I did watching it. But other than that, it's an all right 2.5 out of 5.
Okay. Okay. Set several years after Brody electrocuted the shark in Jaws 2, we find ourselves with his son Mike at SeaWorld Orlando. Mike played by the heavily cocaine Dennis Quaid, is the park engineer and boyfriend of the killer whale trainer. There is also visiting Brody, Sean, his brother, who, beyond trying to shag Kelly, the water ski girl, doesn't add a whole hell of a lot to this movie. The film answers a very basic question. What if SeaWorld caught and displayed and accidentally killed a baby great white shark under the watchful gaze of a billionaire Elon Musk style villain from his secret underwater research facility? And what if, after the death of said baby, his 35-foot mother, complete with her backward swimming abilities, came for revenge? Well, throw in the larger scale SeaWorld advert, complete with a whale, a dolphin, a full water ski stunt show, a wildlife photographer who carries grenades, bumper boats, and the slowest 3D effects of all time, and you will get the answer to that question. I love Jaws 3 unconditionally. It's ridiculous. The plot is outrageous. The characters are equally stupid and overblown. The effects are dismal. However, I will say in 3D, they do, like, if you know old 3D, like modern 3D is really clever and it gives you like depth, it gives depth of picture. Like if you go and watch one of the Avatar movies, it feels like you could reach into the screen. Well, old 3D, it literally feels like the screen is trying to fuck your face. Like everything comes out to like an inch from your jaw, and it's such an enjoyable thing. It's undoubtedly a terrible shark movie, but it holds a real charm. It kept me entertained throughout the whole movie. I think everyone does a great job portraying these ridiculous characters they're given. I really like Louis Gossett Jr. as the crazy billionaire. Sean McKincaid as the wildlife photographer is exceptional. His butler is even better.
Brilliant.
And Dennis Quaid as Mike Brody. It's also a delight on this rewatch because it is so accurate of an inspiration to Deep Blue Sea that there are direct scenes that I reckon I could cut from this movie and stick in Deep Blue Sea and no one would know.
I would know.
No, around the gate when the shark is pushing the gate, I could literally cut that and change it from the gate in Deep Blue Sea. You would have no clue. It's the same shot. I watch this whenever I stumble across it. I really enjoy it. I really look forward to discussing it. I'm going to give this a solid 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I already know where this episode's going, and this may be the first time this year that I actually change my score by the end. We'll see. But I think of all the episodes that have the contender to make me change my mind, I think Jaws 3D is the one.
Yeah, the thing with Jaws 3D is it's one of those movies that we both grew up on. Like this lived in our parents' VHS collection, and this is one that your parents wouldn't mind putting on.
Yeah,
but the one thing I can't get over is just the fact that it is literally an hour and 40-minute SeaWorld advert.
I just can't get over the fact that it's an hour and 40 minutes, to be honest with you, let alone the fact that it's a SeaWorld advert. But yeah, the fact that it is just a glorified SeaWorld advert is crazy. And not only that, but the fact that it's okay and SeaWorld allowed this, because it does not make them look good.
No, I don't know at what point, because obviously SeaWorld would have signed off on this, not just for them to film it, for them to release a Jaws movie set in SeaWorld. I don't know what point a SeaWorld executive sat there and went, we've portrayed all of our staff as assholes. We've portrayed the owner of the park as some really crazy billionaire who will let like a crazy photographer who likes killing animals come in. We've shown that we don't know how to look after sharks because it died. Do you know what? Where do I sign? Let's put our name to this.
So is it actually SeaWorld? Like, do
Yes,
they
it is.
say explicitly? I know it is, but I mean, do they say
Yeah.
in this movie it's SeaWorld?
Yeah, it's SeaWorld, or they say it's SeaWorld San Diego, but it's not. It's actually SeaWorld Orlando, Florida. But yeah, it
Right.
is SeaWorld, and the SeaWorld branding absolutely everywhere.
That shows how much attention I paid.
You don't really need to pay a lot of attention to this film anyway. Right, let's have a quick break and then dive into our review.
Mama Mary on the left side, Spookster Neo on the mic tonight. Family Frights podcast, laugh till you scream, then laugh. Mama and her spooky son, put the fun in the family scare. Family Frights podcast, ghost stories, giggles, gaps. Mama Mary, Spookster Neo, this is where the cozy chills grow.
Turn the lights down, turn the volume up. If the call's from inside, we still pick it up. From cursed VHS to the thing you just streamed, we're your loud best friends inside your screen. This is horror friendly, pour it strong, talk deadly. Drinks and jokes get messy, cause you out so gently. Horror friendly, yeah, we dive in heavy. New and old, get ready. Press play, don't tempt me.
So go and find your next podcast addiction at yourunpodcast.com. There you'll find all the members of the You Run Podcast Network, not just the two we've displayed. There's 18 shows there, 20 something, including our own. There is literally something for everyone. They're not just horror movie reviews. We've got deep dives into TV series. We've got true crime. There's paranormal stuff. Like, there's a bit of everything for everyone. While you're there, you'll also find links to all of our socials. We're at You Run Podcast everywhere. And you will also find links to our Patreon, where you can get an episode every single day of the week, whether it's an early release YouTube or a Patreon exclusive, or an early drop of this episode, or an early drop of true crime, or an early drop of our newest show, which is Voices with the You Run podcast. Like, there's literally something every single day of the week. And also that money you give us helps us invest back into the show and give you a better show overall. Also, don't forget to rate and review us wherever you can. And that's pretty much all I have to say for ads. So let's talk floating fish head at the opening of this movie that lasts about 11 minutes.
It looks good though.
That floating fish head like comes towards the screen, it rotates and it rotates, and I keep waiting for them to like cut and go to the next scene. Like, I went and made a coffee and come back, and this head was still like going.
See, I know I like pulled apart like the 3D effects for what they were, but in 2D, I actually really enjoyed them. They were like quite nostalgic for me to see those kind of effects playing out on screen, and it looked good for what it was. And that's one thing I will say about this movie, because it's set in SeaWorld. They utilize very well a lot of the filler scenes with underwater, and some of them you can clearly see that they're just filming a tank. Like, you know, like when you go to like the deep or stuff that we've got here in the UK, and it's you go up and you look at tanks and they've got frogs and they've got fucking certain types of weird jellyfish and shit. Like, they're just filming a tank at that point and they're not actually underwater. But I think they all look really, really good, and it's probably got the best of the underwater scenes across the franchise, I would say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I think that's because especially Jaws 1 and Jaws 2 actually filmed shit in the sea. They actually filmed real life animals in less of a controlled environment, like where they were in SeaWorld. They could shout up to the people above the tank and go, can you turn the lights down a little bit because we want to like light it our own way? And they'll be like, yeah, no worries. Like Steven Spielberg didn't go, God, could you just like turn the sun down about 10% so I can get a better shot?
No.
I like the grand opening of this park and the fact that all the press are there, I think is really cool. One thing that had me dying with laughter when the owner, the really weird, like Elon Musk style character, has the diorama. Like when he's showing them, like, this is the park and this is the underwater bit and this is where we keep everything. All that went through my head was literally Jurassic Park. He's like, it cost us $34 million, and I was waiting for him to go, no cost, no cost. What is it? No expense spared. I was literally waiting for him to do it, and he didn't.
Yeah, he's a great character. I liked him. He was very entertaining. He reminded me a lot of Robert Downey Jr.'s character in Tropic Thunder. He's portrayed very much the same way. He's the token black guy of Jaws 3, and he shows that on screen a lot.
Like some of his lines are just ridiculous, and also the fact that they work into this. Like, there's a bit where the PR lady is prepping the press, and they're like, you can ask him anything you want, but you cannot ask him about any of his past transgressions. I'm like, what's this guy done that's like newsworthy that the reporters want to ask him? Like, what is the scandal? I want to know what he's done before. And he's like, just this weird, like, this is exactly how I imagine SeaWorld would go if Elon Musk bought SeaWorld.
Yeah, it's just a cover for something else mysterious going on.
Yeah, it's like we're going to put a shark in there. We're going to fire rockets out of the shark tank into space with, like, we're going to take fish. We're going to take great white sharks to Mars. Like, that's how Elon Musk's brain works. And this guy's exactly the same.
Yeah, there's a one scene later on in the movie where he's like talking to the people who are trapped in the tunnel, and he's been real calm and real collective. And then he's like, is this thing off after he's finished talking? And then he just goes off on one. He's like, I'm sick of these motherfucking sharks in this motherfucking SeaWorld, man.
100% inspired Samuel L. Jackson's speech in Deep Blue Sea. Dennis Quaid is the most toxic boss in the world. I'm going to say it now. The bit where the gate breaks and he comes over, is like, just fix the fucking gate. And they're like, will it be overtime? And he just gets on his jet ski, and as he skis away, he's like, no overtime. I'm like, absolute prick.
We all know that person, though, from working relationships. We all know that one person who is that much of a dick. And to be fair to his character, like, he's actually pretty cool. Like, I like him in this movie. And I think Dennis Quaid's great at portraying him. I do like him as an actor as well. But yeah, there's just something very off about the responsibilities he has within this park. You know what I mean? Like, because no offense, he seems very much like just a general lackey until it's necessary for him to be the man of the park.
Yeah, so he's meant to be the head engineer, but he's also I don't know, he's like the janitor.
He's a caretaker, yeah.
He's the caretaker. He's like, looks after the staff for the ski show. He does everything, and he's also like a guy with multiple degrees who understands how all the underwater tunnels work, and
yeah,
like, he designed the gate system. You're like,
as well as dealing with human resources and
yeah, he's HR. Like, they must be paying him an absolute fortune because he literally does everything.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Also, Dennis Quaid done absolutely everything, because I'm going to quote Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid in an interview once said, I was in Jaws what? He then elaborated, saying that he'd done so much cocaine during this movie that he had no recollection of being in it. And there's actually a couple of frames, when he watched it back, there's actually a couple of frames in this where you can see he is coked out of his mind and has no idea where he is or what he's doing.
That part where he comes out of the water into the tank where they drain the water, he is off his fucking nut in that scene.
He's also off his nut in his scene where he comes in with the jet ski to like stop the ski show in the boat a little bit too
crash.
Hot and crash. And when he gets out, he like almost falls over himself because he's like proper like, yeah, let's go.
Oh man, brilliant. Good times. I wish I was an actor in the 80s.
Dennis Quaid had an absolute riot on this movie, without a doubt. This movie also contains Shamu, the whale, famous whale from SeaWorld, who killed one person, accidentally bit one person, and they died a couple of days later. I am going to say, thankfully, it wasn't Tilikum in SeaWorld at the time, because that's the orca that they replaced Shamu with. Tilikum is responsible for 3 of the 4 deaths of people by an orca in captivity, fully eating 3 of its trainers. No, 2 of its trainers and a member of the public.
I mean, serves the fuckers right, man. You shouldn't be locking these creatures up in tanks. You know what I mean? It's just not natural. I have a real issue with places like SeaWorld and zoos and stuff like that. I don't like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is certain situations where I think it's justified. If they're there to protect a sort of species or something like that, or they're trying to repopulate and stuff and reintroduce them. But yeah, keeping things like whales and sharks, and there's like we've got Flamingo Land here in the UK, which is like a theme park with a zoo in it, and some of the animals there just look so fucking depressed, man. It's awful. It's awful. I don't like it, you know, and I'm not like a big activist. I'm not Greenpeace. I'm not save the planet kind of guy, you know, but I empathize with creatures when I see them locked up in these cages, and it's not nice, man. You know what I mean? It's not nice. So fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't be playing with that kind of shit, you know? Fuck around and find out, you know?
Yeah,
exactly
I agree completely. So we went to Cheshunt World of Adventures a little while ago, and there they have a full zoo, and in that zoo they've got gorillas. Now, my understanding of gorillas at the time, it's different now, but at the time was very different to what it is now. So there's a big, like, full-size, 8-foot fucking ginormous silverback gorilla sat right by the glass looking at me. So I got down on his level and looked back. Apparently keeping eye contact with a gorilla is a sign of aggression. That gorilla picked up a car tire that he had in his enclosure and fully threw it at the glass. Like, the glass did, I shit myself, like proper, like fell on my back, like fucking scurried away. And this gorilla, honest to God, smiled at me and laughed before he went away.
That's brilliant. Fully dominated you in that moment.
He literally, it's one of Lisa's favorite stories to tell, so I'm going to get it out of the way now. It's on the air. Everyone's heard it. What's going on? Like, his brother comes to visit and they go out drinking.
Yeah.
What is it? Have you ever heard of the game Standoff?
No, never heard of it. It looks like the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, I don't even now, I've seen this movie multiple times. I don't get the rules of this game.
You just push the other person over.
But even then, like, I don't get it. Like, they just do this with each other's hands, and like, I don't get what the objective is and how. I honestly, dude. Like, for me, I'm like, dude, just apply some pressure and she will fall over.
She weighs about as much of a packet of crisps. Like, literally just nudge her. Yeah, I didn't get it, and I don't like the brother either.
I don't dislike the brother. I wouldn't go as far to say I disliked him, but he's odd. But again, I don't think that's necessarily him as an actor or the character he's portraying. I just think it's the dynamics between all of the characters combined. They have such weird relationships. Like, Dennis Quaid's girlfriend is extremely affectionate with his brother, which really just draws attention to it every time I watch this movie. I'm like, that's not cool. Like, if my wife was being that affectionate with my brother, say I had a brother, I'd be like, what are you doing? Don't do that. That's really strange, you know. But the way they're all playing on the beach and then they're passing girlfriends about for a wrestle, I'm like, that's not how reality unfolds. You wouldn't do that. And I think that's what makes it odd, is the fact that their incestuous dynamic is strange.
Yeah, it's really strange. Also, Dennis Quaid's disregard for his brother and his fear of the water wound me up. He's like, yeah, my brother's scared of the water. I'm like, no fucking shit. Like, twice a shark has tried to fucking eat him. Like, in the second one, a shark actively hunted him down. And you're like, yeah, I don't know why he's scared of the water. He's like, yeah, he goes to like college in Colorado. There's no water anywhere near that. I'm like, I get it. Like, why don't you understand that?
But he soon fucking got over it though. Like it's
do,
gone from that to having a skinny dip with this woman, which I get. You know
do
what I
you
mean?
blame
There's a
him? Like,
potential. No, there's a potential for sex. So all right, yeah, you get a free pass with your trauma on that one. But then every scene after that, he's either jet skiing or he's on rubber dinghies, and I'm like, wow, that didn't take long.
and bumper boats.
Yeah, the
I
bump.
don't.
That's what I meant. The bumper boat thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed, but the bumper boats, it's actually the fat guy on the bumper boat that knocks him into the water that causes his missus to get eaten.
that's right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love his missus, by the way. She's so attractive. It's the mum, I think, from Back to the Future. Is that right? Not
Yes,
the
it is.
girlfriend. Yes,
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, but I always thought it was the shark, but it's not. It's 100%. The
Yeah, it's a
fat
big
guy,
fat dude who's like, yeah, dodgems.
which to be fair is exactly how you would be on a bumper boat.
Oh, yeah. I would be there wiping out kids and all sorts. I would be dominating that pool.
A kid had fallen in, you just ride over his head.
Yeah. This is
Got
my
him.
pool now, bitch.
Where do you want to start with the photographer who's is he a photographer? Is he
He
a
is, yeah.
poacher? Is he like is he? Because
He
he's
is,
like,
yeah.
but he like kills things to photograph them. Or if like he rammed a boat once because it was in the way of his shot. Like he's weird.
He's odd, yeah. He's like an activist slash photographer slash wildlife preserver dude, but he's very quick. I mean, I don't think he has any intention of killing the shark, though. You know what I mean? I know he talks about explosives, but I think that's just his big act persona. Like he very much tries his best to just encage the shark later on in the movie. I like his character. He's very ballsy. He's like Troy McClure from The Simpsons, but
Yeah.
just with fish. I do like him. I love his death scene as well. That's really, really cool. I love his relationship with his butler maid. That's cool.
His butler has got serious Bond villain vibes.
Yeah. He's a henchman, isn't he?
He really is like governor. Oh, governor.
When he whacks that dude on the beach, he's just brilliant. He's like, "Get out of the water!" And he's like, "I said, get out of the water."
The thing is, though, like I understand why that dude like lost his temper with the butler because the butler fully knocked his beer out of his hand. The dude's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then he just punches him and drags him onto the beach.
It's brilliant. His suicidal sort of mission thing at the end though was a bit strange, where he's just absolutely devastated that he loves this guy so much and just puts his own life in risk to sort of. At this point, he already knows he's dead as well. So the decisions he made from that point onwards was just stupid. But I liked it. It showed his dedication to this guy.
It showed his dedication, but also it's a weird scene. Like even the bit where he like as he jumps into the water, he's like, "For governor."
Yeah. Governor's death though was fucking awesome. It was like awesome not because it was good, but because it was just ridiculous. Like he actually was still alive inside the mouth of this shark.
I do like the way they filmed it though, where it's filmed from inside the shark's mouth. It's like dum dum.
Yeah, but I
as
mean,
eating.
realistically, it's never panning out like that.
but it leads perfectly into the end where his hand is still hanging out of the shark holding a grenade. I'm like, how
Not
did
just
that
his
happen?
hand, his full torso and his head and everything is there.
The shark's got him stuck in his teeth.
Yeah, one thing I do really like about this movie, and I still like it every time I watch it, is the twist reveal of the fact that the shark that they do capture. Because I was like, when they first get the baby shark, I'm like, this is the shark for Jaws 3? This is a bit underwhelming. And then it dies in the tank, and I'm like, oh, so what happens now? And then we find out the mother is kicking about, and you're like, yeah, all right.
The thing is that I'm not surprised it died. Like they put it in a pool, and they're like, this is SeaWorld. Their job is to keep aquatic life alive.
But
And
it's fact, though, that great white sharks don't survive in captivity.
It is, but at no point, like they just stuck it in just like what looks like a paddling pool. They've got no oxygenization in the water at all. She's like, oh yeah, get a hose. We'll stick a hose in its mouth. I'm like, well, it's a bit fucking late for that. It's been in that pool with no oxygen for like a day. And then like, they get it moving. And this is where like the park owners, oh, we've put it in the display tank now. and they get in there and it's like proper belly up, like fucked. I'm like,
I
well,
don't know what the facts are and why they die in captivity, to be honest with you.
no one knows.
Oh, right.
It,
Okay.
it,
So there are
it,
no facts.
yeah, it's the same as great white, not great whites, the same as orcas. So orcas' fins in captivity curve. In the
Right.
wild, they're dead up straight, but in captivity, they curl over and they don't know why. And if they release them back into the wild, they don't go erect again either. They stay limp. It's weird.
I could go so many different places with the words you've just used, but I'm going to choose to be the bigger man in this and just move on.
I'm a little bit disappointed you didn't go anywhere with it, if I'm honest.
So the fin that's Shamu, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that Free Willy.
Yeah, it's Free Willy.
Like it's the same whale in Free Willy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Do you think that Free Willy is a sequel to this movie?
That would be cool. I could watch Free Willy after this and enjoy
Yes.
it on that level.
So you watch Jaws, Jaws 2, Jaws 3D, Free Willy 2, then Jaws the Revenge. That's the true.
I haven't seen any of the Free Willy sequels. Is it the same whale?
I think so. I haven't seen Free Willy 2 for a long time.
Yeah, we're circulating around the words willies and erect and limp, and I think we should probably move on from talking about this.
Okay, let's talk the dolphins in this. Dolphins are evil. I know this is
I don't
hard
trust a dolphin.
Yeah, this is hard for a lot of people to take, but there's a couple of things that I found out about dolphins this week that blew my fucking mind. So one thing that dolphins like to do is they like to have sex. And you know these people who go and like swim with dolphins? It's quite common that when you're in with a dolphin, it will hump you and ejaculate on your leg. Like
They're
instantly.
like dogs. They're like water dogs, is what you're saying.
No, see, I thought that initially, and then I kept looking. Another thing they like to do is like to basically get seals or baby seals, and they will like play catch with them. They'll literally like throw them around to eat. They'll play catch. They'll throw a baby seal 20 foot in the air, and then the other one will like whack it with its tail, and they'll do that till it dies, and then they'll swim away.
Well, they don't even eat it.
No, it's just for fun.
I mean, it's entertainment, isn't it? Like I would like to be a sea animal, right? I'm going to go weird places with this right now, and I do apologize. I really like the ocean, and I would like to be able, like, do you know when people say, what would your superpower be? And everyone always says, I'd love to fly. No, I'd like to be able to like breathe underwater. I'd like to be Aquaman. You know what I mean? And just go around, just swim in and just checking shit out and that. And just because the underwater is beautiful. And like, I'm always really curious about like the Mariana Trench and shit like that. So I would like the ability to be able to go down, just free swim. You know, I don't want tanks. I don't want out. I just want to swim down and just check that shit out and be like the first person to discover that stuff. Because I think there's weirder shit down there than there is up there.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. We know more about space than we do about our own ocean, which is wild. Which is one of the reasons I'm not a fan of the sea.
No, and like I love movies that dive into that kind of thing. So like I really like Meg 2 because they deal with like the trench and stuff. And there's a movie called Underwater, and I'm going to keep talking about underwater on this show until one of you motherfuckers gets it on this show because I love it. It's a Kirsten Stewart movie with the whole H.P. Lovecraft Kraken kind of shit. It's a fucking brilliant movie.
It's a newer version of Leviathan is effectively what it is.
Effectively, yeah. But stuff like that, just like people always talk about like space movies and alien movies, but then I'll watch stuff like Deep Rising. I'm like, that shit is fucking awesome, you know? Because
The Abyss.
Yeah, like stuff like that is more plausible to me because it's on our planet and we don't know what's down there. So I'm more inclined to believe that stuff than I am to believe in an alien story. So yeah, I had no idea where this conversation started or where it's going to end. That's kind of what I had to say.
Well, it started with dolphins.
It did.
And it started with dolphins and where they go out to the shipwreck and the dolphins go with them. Their little sub that fills with, like, they wear oxygen masks and then they go in a submersible that fills with water. I'm like, it was really the 80s. Like now we've got airtight stuff that you just get in and like in the 80s, it was effectively a car that had been stripped down. Like the windows were still open, and like it just wear your oxygen stuff. It's got an engine, you could just move quicker. Um, I like the fact that it is the baby shark, and that it's like the dolphins are aware of it. And like after it's gone belly up, I like the fact that they deal with it as we've got a problem in pump one. What do you want us to do? And the owner's like, well, shut it down and use pump two. Like it's fucking expensive. If it's not working properly, shut it down. They're like, you're gonna repair it. He's like, no, that's why we have two pumps. Like use pump two.
Yeah.
And we get the I can't even call it a shark. We get the giant foam
Head.
shark, roughly cut shape that comes out of that tube.
Yeah, we get this a lot with this movie, you know, like, I mean, especially if you take into consideration how great the mechanics were on the original one. I know it failed a lot, but the authenticity of how good it looked. And again, the second one, Jaws 2. Jaws 2 shark is my favorite shark. The one that's all burnt up and scarred. That's just mega. That's the best shark in Jaws, in my opinion. This one is just diabolically bad. Every single shot and every single scene it's in, it is clearly just a foam prop, like you say. And even again later on in the final sequence where it's trying to break into that underwater head office, and they use Jason and the Argonaut style stop motion. It just looks dreadful, man.
It literally looks like a grey turd floating towards the glass. And when the glass shatters, like that is in 3D looks great.
No, this is it. This is my thing, you see. Like, I'm glorifying the 3D effects, but there is not a fucking planet that I can see myself living on where this looks good.
No, the glass the shark still looks like a grey turd, but it's now out of the screen. But the glass smashing looks half decent.
It doesn't. I can't see it. I can't see it, man. I can't. And even at the end where they're like celebrating and the two dolphins come spinning up, I'm like, there is no way that ever looked good. Ever.
Do you know the crazy thing is this held the record for the highest grossing opening of a 3D film until 2003 when Spy Kids 3 Game Over came out. This is for the best part of 20 years was the most successful 3D movie of all time.
That blows my absolute mind, man. It really, really does. But again, like I've never experienced this style of 3D, and I can't see a world where this actually works and it looks good.
It works, but it's one of those, like, you know, when you used to look at 3D magazines,
Yeah.
it is like that. So like there's moments where you're like, oh yeah, I've got it. And then you turn your head slightly to the left. You're like, oh, fuck, I've lost it again. So you spend your time like holding the glasses and going, no, yeah, I got it.
But you see, the thing is for me, so those blue and red glasses that you get.
Yeah.
When you used to have, so I remember the days where they were in like magazines and sticker books and stuff like that, and you'd put them on, but the pictures themselves were always red and blue.
Yeah.
But this movie is entirely in color. So if you watch the 3D version, when you put those blue and red glasses on, how are you seeing the movie in its natural color? Are you watching it on like a weird tonal context? I don't get it.
Yeah, so you've got like the red and blue like, on the actual 3D version. You've got like almost like the red and blue tinge to everything. So you are watching it through like a weird like color perspective.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not like 3D glasses today where you go just put on like they look like a pair of sunglasses. Like this is proper like fucks your eyes up color wise.
That's what I'm saying. So are you enjoying the movie itself throughout, or is there moments on the screen where it flashes up and say, now put on your 3D glasses for the next scene?
Some of the films did. I can't remember if Jaws 3D did. It's been so long since I've watched it in 3D, but I have seen it in 3D multiple times, but I can't remember if it pops up and says, now put on your, a lot of movies did say, like it'd be a little like box, or there'd be someone in the cinema, I'd be like, now put on your 3D glasses. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because you can't watch unless I just don't see how it works, to be honest with you. It's wild. I should have probably looked into this a little bit more before we started recording this episode, but I assumed because of your age you would have known.
Ouch. Just ouch. Leah Thompson, the one who plays the girlfriend that you really like.
Yes.
So she lied about being in other movies when she was cast for this. She's like, yeah, I've done loads of movies before. And they're like, okay, cool. And they cast her, didn't look into it. It was the 80s. She was hot. They just went, yeah, okay, we'll cast her. The first scene she ever shot for a movie was where the mechanical shark comes out of the water in the bumper boats and sends her flying in the fucking air.
That's a great start to your career.
You imagine, like, first day on set, like, do you say easy to say? They're like, yeah, just get in there. There's a 3.5 ton mechanical shark that's going to come up underneath you and lift you 6 foot into the air and just act scared. Like, there'd be no acting involved at all.
No, she's had a wild career, to be fair to her. I mean, she's done this. Then she was Marty McFly's mum. Then she had sex with a duck.
Well, she's had a great career, to be fair to her. Let's talk about the deep blue sea control rooms and shit underneath.
Mm.
Like, why is this in SeaWorld? What sort of weird research lab are they trying to cure Alzheimer's? Like, literally, it is exactly the same.
Yeah, but it looks great. The set design's fantastic in this movie. I will give it that.
Yeah, it is, but it's so like, it's literally like the person who made Deep Blue Sea watched this and went, I really like the last 20 minutes of this film. I'm going to make that, but longer.
Yeah. Which is very clear that they do as well, because there is such mass inspirations. Like the scene where the shark swims backwards out of the tunnel. We know sharks can't swim backwards. We know that because we've watched Deep Blue Sea and they tell us in Deep Blue Sea, did that shark just swim backwards because sharks can't swim backwards? And someone watched this movie and went, sharks can't swim backwards, because I don't remember them saying in this movie that sharks can't swim backwards.
No, they don't. And in this, it doesn't just do it once, because it's like this dodgy mechanical foam thing. It like butts its head in, then backs up, then butts its head in again, then backs up again. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like it's trying to do a 3-point turn. It's awful.
Well, it's backwards in the tunnel and it breaks the gate by reversing into the gate, and then it just like reverses out of the tunnel once the gate's broken. And I'm like, it can't do that. And I said, but like they must have known that, because that was the whole point of lowering it into the tunnel in the first place.
Yeah, and it's like as it comes out, the only thing that's missing is boop, boop, boop. That's 100% of real this week. That's happening this week.
Yeah, definitely.
Their plan, like, so that you get these people who get stuck in the underwater tunnels, and I've always been freaked out by these. Like, we've been to loads of aquariums, and when you go in that underwater bit, like, I know that glass is like a 3 foot thick. It's never going to break. But when you look and you look up and you've got God knows how many thousands of gallons of water on top of you, and you've got sharks and shit swimming around, there's always part of me that goes, oh, if that went, like, they are going to airlock this and I'm going to have to swim through that and take my chances. And I find them really uncomfortable. This scene where they're locked in, like, this is like nightmare fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, and do you know what the thing is for me as well? It's not the capabilities of swimming in it. It's the pressure that I always take into consideration with stuff like this. Like, I'm not educated enough. Like, when they do it in Deep Blue Sea, it's like, we've got to swim to the surface. You've got to exhale slowly or your brain will pop out. And it's like, that's the only thing that ever worries me about those scenes. And it always gets me every time. It's like, oh, shit, what do you do? Do you breathe in? Do you breathe out? How do you do it? Do you slow release or not? And that's where my brain goes to. It's not the fact that I'm trapped underwater and I have to swim to the surface. It's like, how do I prevent my eyes from popping out of my skull?
Yeah, the one thing I do like in this scene is the woman who works there, the staff member. She's hilarious because she's super professional. Like,
Yeah.
hello, welcome to SeaWorld. And here is our wonderful and when those doors shut and people start shouting and screaming, she proper loses her shit. She's like, you all need to shut the fuck up and listen to me right now or you're all going to die. And they're like, oh. But she goes from like Uber customer service to, motherfucker, I will stab you. Don't worry about the shark. I will fucking do it. She's awesome. I absolutely love her character.
Yeah, she's great. She is great. And she manages to keep them all in track as well, which is good. But again, like, I feel like that scene was pivotal to the story, but it didn't feel like the tension was ever there with it, you know. And every time we flash back to it, I was like, get back to the control room or get back to Dennis Quaid welding the tunnel. Like, no one cares about these people here because you haven't built it up enough until it was relevant to the story.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And all the stuff with their plan, like, their plan is fucking ludicrous. like how they're going to kill the shark and like, oh, we're going to weld the tunnels and we're going to do this. And there's so much shit going on. And I think it was literally all the cocaine on set. They went, we got 11 ideas. Let's do them all.
Yeah.
That's the energy it gives. And like that end scene where like they're trying to hook the grenade as like the torso with the grenade is hanging out of the shark's mouth and they hook it and pull it. And then like the shark explodes, like proper full on red mist. They're fine. Like they didn't get hurt by that. How did
Yeah, but
that
it was
happen?
hiding behind a desk though, weren't they?
Yeah, but like earlier on, like the desk was hit. The desk is the most flimsy, paper thin piece of shit ever. A grenade went off 2 foot away, and they're fine. And we get
it's not even that though. But where's Samuel L. Jackson gone? Like he was there in that moment, and he ran like to the corner of the room, and then we never see him again.
He died. A shark ate him.
I don't know though, but they made it look like he didn't die. But then, like, I don't know if he did or not. And I like it annoyed me because they were like insinuating that he was all right. But I'm like, well, where did he go? It was like as if he was running to a door. But it's like, well, if he ran to that door, why is nobody else going to the door? Because he swims there as well. I'm not just like he ran to the door. No, the lady who got knocked out by the great white shark, which is also from the last scene now grown 3 times bigger.
Oh yeah,
his head is now the size of the screen, whereas before when it swam past earlier, it was not that big. But again, effects. So he like swims, grabs the lady who's unconscious, swims to like one of those door things. I'm like, well, why is nobody else going to the door that you've just gone to?
They wanted a better look at the 3D effects that we get when the shark explodes.
Yeah, well, the other guy at the control desk as well, the other only black guy in this movie, his death was the best death in the movie, barring the Wild Thornberrys guy. His death was really, really cool. Because he gets proper mauled by the shark. And that's like the first on-screen death we really see.
There's so much that happens off screen, which again is kind of homage to 1 and 2, because a lot of those deaths are off screen as well. There's a lot of like the water ski one, I think, is a prime example. No one dies in the water ski one, but like the use of the shark there is the best it's used. That's the most tense this movie is, where they're doing the full SeaWorld stunt show and they're all climbing up and the girl does like the back bend. And as she does the back bend, the shark pretty much comes out of the water and goes, "Hi, gonna eat you now."
But again, that scene annoys me because it's like, you girls are very clearly talented on water skis.
Yeah.
But they immediately see a shark and they're like, oh, let's go swim with it. You know, it's like, fuck you. You could Tony Hawk's your shit across the water away from this shark. But instead, they all have a meltdown and decide to go for a dip.
They literally go, and just let go of the rope they're holding onto.
Whereas if they'd have just kept hold of the rope and stayed in unison as a pyramid, they would have all been finally escorted to the shore.
Yeah, and it's literally all they needed to do was the boat needed to turn slightly. They let go, ski to the edge, and step onto the sand. I've seen hundreds of videos of people do it on TikTok. It's doable.
It is very doable, but no, sheer panic. Let's go for a swim.
Yeah. Roy Schneider was not approached to do this movie. He said
that surprises me.
He said in an interview that they knew better after how pissed off he was in Jaws 2. He said there was no studio exec that would ever ask me to do another Jaws movie, ever.
Yeah, which is a shame, really, because he was fantastic in Jaws 2, even though you could tell he didn't want to be there. He's my favorite version of that character in Jaws 2.
Yeah.
For him to come back, I don't know. I don't really know him having a career outside of Jaws, to be honest with you. He should have done Jaws 3. He should have done a Michael Caine and taken the paycheck.
What would have been great is they're all fucking struggling with it and they can't beat it. And then like he just rocks up at the end and goes, like, just electrocute it. Like, okay, that's how I killed it last time. Like, just like see that switch there, like switch that switch, turn that on. And the fact that it's in a big filter with a big fan, like, at no point did they go, let's put it on full power and just suck the fucker in through the fan.
Well, we can't because the fan's broken.
Well, this is true. I haven't really got anything else I want to say on this, apart from the fact it cost $20 million to make, and it made them $88 million.
Yeah, it's a successful franchise, man, you know. But the thing is as well, like, even though this franchise does take a mass decline as far as they go, Jaws 1 and 2 are solid in terms of consistency. I know Jaws 2 doesn't have its fans like the original does, but for me, I think 1 and 2 are a great companion piece, similar to what you would consider Halloween and Halloween 2 to be companion pieces. I think Jaws 1 and 2 very much lends itself in that same sort of category. So
Well,
I think when Jaws 3 was announced, I can understand the hype behind it.
well, we've reviewed all of them on the show now, so I think we can rank them. So how
Yes.
do you rank the Jaws movies?
So if I'm ranking them out of enjoyment, I rank them Jaws 2, Jaws 1, Jaws Revenge, and then Jaws 3D. But across the board, I do like all of them. The one that I haven't seen is Cruel Jaws, and I'm not a big
Mm.
enough fan to sort of know where that lies in terms of do I include it, do I not?
No, don't include it. It's stupid. It doesn't really belong in the franchise. It's one that we should cover at some point.
Yeah, we
But
might as
yeah,
well.
my ranking of this is like most of my rankings is wild. Jaws, the original, can't be beaten. Jaws, the Revenge, Jaws 3D, Jaws 2.
That's wild, you see. I love Jaws 2, and I thought you loved Jaws 2 as well.
No, when we reviewed it, I moaned about it continuously.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember shit, but yeah, no, I that's solid, and I get it. Do you know what I mean? I get the perspective on that, and I understand it. But yeah, for me, Jaws 2, Jaws 1, Jaws the Revenge, Jaws 3D. But again, that's not to say that Jaws 3D is the worst. You know what I mean? Like I like them based on enjoyment. Like Jaws the Revenge is very clearly the worst in the entire franchise. It is diabolically bad as a shark movie, and
Yeah,
especially as a Jaws movie. But for entertainment purposes, that movie's fucking hysterical, you know?
yeah.
And the same can be applied to Jaws 3D, although it does incorporate a little bit more of a straight edge to it. It sometimes. Like Jaws
Yeah,
the Revenge is complete nonsense from start to finish. Jaws 3D is about 80% nonsense from start to finish, you know? But whereas I think, as I said, Jaws 1 and 2, I think are a very, very consistent pairing in the franchise.
yeah. I really like this franchise. This film is really enjoyable. Like, I saw this when I was about 9, I think, the first time, and I enjoy it now as much as I did then. Um, if you're going to go watch this, don't expect great quality, but it is a lot of fun. I'm gonna keep my score at a 3.5. I'm not gonna put it up. I think 3.5 is fair for this.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna bump mine up because I think I went into it a bit harshly. I'm going to bump it up and I'm going to join you at a 3.5. I think. I don't think because I would never begrudge my experience. If someone said to me, do you want to watch Jaws 3D? I'd be like, fuck yeah, I want
Yep.
to watch Jaws 3D. I want to watch Jaws 3D all day long. Let's watch Jaws 3D, you know, and I think it's a great movie to watch in that environment, you know, get your friends around, have a couple of beers. If you smoke weed, especially, this would be a great pairing of a movie to smoke cannabis to. I just think it's a lot of fun, you know, and I think if you can get past the first 40 minutes of bloat, which I did, and I spent most of that first 40 minutes scrolling on my phone, which is probably why I missed the whole whale segment that we spoke about off air. But I think for me, it's fun. It's fun. And I love the ending. I love what it builds to. I love how ridiculous it gets towards it. And again, Deep Blue Sea is one of my favorite movies of all time. And you can see the inspiration for that movie from watching Jaws 3D. So it'd be wrong of me to tell you that I dislike this movie because I don't. So yeah, I'm going to bump it up. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I think that probably puts it in third in my ranking in terms of scores for the movie because I know that I didn't even rank Jaws of Revenge. I was that fucked off with the movie and the discussion on the episode that I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not even playing this game anymore.
Yeah, you really did. Well, there you go. Jaws 3D, 3.5 out of 5 from both of us. Go and watch it. Let's play a game.
Dad, what are you doing? It's Shark Week.
We're having a break from Meltdown. That's back next week when we have a first real life guest to try it out. So we're going to do This Fish Made Bank. We've played this game or variations of it numerous times. I'm going to give Mark a movie and how much money it made. And then we're going to do higher or lower.
Right. Yeah, cool.
So I'm starting off with a solid one. Jaws, the original Jaws, made $530 million at the global box office.
Yep.
Did the Meg, the first one, make more or less than that?
Do you know what, man? That's really, really difficult due to What's it called where shit goes up over time?
Inflation. I've
That's the
adjusted
one.
them.
You've adjusted them for inflation, right?
Yeah.
Then the Meg is definitely lower.
It is 470 million, only just
Right.
lower. So next one up, did this make more or less than the Meg? Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, I think Deep Blue Sea was a banger. I don't know. I don't know if it's one of them that just caught on later on like rental. Oh, it pains me to say it, but I think it did less.
It did done
than
a
it,
lot less.
yeah.
$165 million,
Yeah,
which is
that's
still
diabolical. It's all right, but it's not 480 million, is it?
no, it's not. How about Shark Tale? Did that make more or less than Deep Blue Sea? That's the
Yeah,
animated
I
one
think
with
the
Will
trick of this
Smith.
game here is just to show me that Deep Blue Sea made the least amount of money, because I do think Shark Tale did more than Deep Blue Sea.
It did. Shark Tale incredibly made $367 million.
It's a good movie, man.
How about The Shallows? Did that make more or less than Shark Tale?
Before I move on, it just come back to me. Is Shark Tale the one where they released "It's a Car Wash"?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I remember that, because that was around the time of my youth when that became prominent again. And
Yeah.
Car Wash was like an anthem for my generation, only for me to discover that it was not my generation. But we had the cool Missy Elliott version, so yeah, go that version. Anyway, sorry, yes, The Shallows less than Shark Tale.
It did. Made $119 million. How about Finding Nemo?
Definitely made a hell of a lot more than The Shallows.
Do you want to take a guess at how much Finding Nemo made? This is its theatrical run.
I'm gonna go 780 million.
No, it's a lot more than that. They made $947 million.
Wow. So it's close to $1 billion for a Pixar movie. The only
Yeah.
movies that have really tipped that are like Avatar and a couple of the Avengers films, haven't they?
Yeah, there's a few. I think one of the Star Wars tipped $1 billion as well, but yeah, there's not many.
That's like massive though for Pixar. So
But yeah,
whatever shark movie you have next, if you haven't ended on Nemo, you do know that anything else.
well, this is where it gets like the next one's going to be really easy, but from here to the end, it's really difficult. Jaws: The Revenge, did that make more or less than Finding Nemo?
Oh, such a difficult question. I'm going to go less.
It did. It made $52 million. 47 meters down.
Ooh, yeah, that is difficult. I think I'm gonna 52 million, 47 meters down. I think it still did well, but did it do 52 million well? It generated a sequel, but it was how much was the budget for 40? I'm gonna say more, purely just on the fact that it generated a sequel, and I don't feel like if it was that much of a flop, they would have then made the sequel.
It wasn't a flop, but it only made $44 million.
Ooh, that's the first one I got wrong.
Open Water.
Less than 44 million.
It made more. It made $55 million.
Fucking hell, man. You're saving these very tight margins towards the end, aren't you?
Yeah. You got two more. The Reef.
I've never seen The Reef. We haven't done The Reef, have we? I've
No.
never seen it. No. That's the one movie that I always get confused with The Shallows, but I know The Shallows because we've done that on the show. What am I working off here?
55 million.
Less.
It did. It made $2.1 million.
Oh, that's a flop. We need to get that on the show.
And finally, The Black Demon. Shark movie come out a couple of years ago.
Oh, that was so bad. I turned it off after like 15 minutes, and I love shark movies. Well, it's got to make more then. No, because I don't know. It didn't get a cinema release, did it? It just came straight to streaming.
No, it got a limited theatrical release, which is why it's
limited.
on this list.
Yeah, I'm going to say less.
It did. It made a grand total, drum roll please, of $800,000.
Wow. I'm surprised Under Paris wasn't on your list. That sequel's coming soon. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, there was no budget, no box office money for Under Paris because it went straight to streaming and didn't go anywhere
Oh, of
else.
course, it's a Netflix, isn't it?
It is. Let's do 3-word review. So we're going to kick off things on TikTok with Bad Candy Films.
Dimensional terrible.
If you want to see a good version of that movie, watch this.
So three-dimensional terrible, which kind of works. So he showed Revenge of the Creature, which has almost an identical plot to this. One of the first critics that reviewed it asked if Jaws 3D was an unofficial remake of Revenge of the Creature.
Wow, we love Creature of the Black Lagoon on this show. We covered it and we give it the top scores from both of us, if I remember rightly. We both give it 5 out of 5. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I don't know how many. Like, this was one thing when we did Creature of the Black Lagoon. We was like, yeah, we're going to work our way through all of these on the show at some point. And then I think we did Dracula.
Yeah, or Frankenstein. We done another.
No,
one
you
of
did Frankenstein with Angel.
Yeah,
We did Dracula. We did Nosferatu as well, but that's not the same thing. But we did Creature and we've done Dracula so far. But it was like 3 years ago we said we were going to do them all, and we've done 2. We need to do that, and we need to start tackling a bit more of the Universal monster movies throughout our pollings, I think. I didn't know it had that sequel, Revenge of the Creature. I would like to see that a lot to be able to invest a bit more into this conversation.
Well,
Because all I can bring is the shock that that has a sequel.
We'll stick it out on a poll. Also from TikTok, Alexis Chainsaw Massacre, shitty but entertaining. Mike Edge went with cheesy, funny, enjoyable. On Instagram, Catel45678, who's our guest next week, an absolute classic. I agree. Randomly, Eric, come on, man. Ridiculous, unnecessary schlock, and then added in brackets, sorry, Kate, after she put a note on there going, I will not take any slander against Jaws 3D in this comment section. Dave B. Movies went with criminally underrated. I'd agree with that. Over on Threads, Bernie Vital went with bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a very popular movie, is it? But you can tell, like with the comment sections, you can tell the diehard original fans amongst the people who love it.
Yeah, we've got Alpha Mike Foxtrot, better than 2. Yeah, I agree with that. Mark doesn't, but I do.
I don't know.
And then on Slasher, we have Spiky the Old Duck went with Hot Mess Fun, and Horror Tone went with Oh Hell Yeah.
That's a more reasonable response to 3-word review.
Yeah, I think so. We haven't got any voicemails this week. So if you want to send us a voicemail, you can do that. You can send us a DM on Instagram or X, and you literally just push the microphone button and speak. And you can speak up to, I think, 3 minutes now. So record us a voicemail. We'll play it on the air and you get to hear your voice on the show. You can also do a TikTok and tag us, and we'll also put that onto the show as well. And it's now what has become my favorite time of the show because I get to play the music. It's time for the VHS hunt.
Let's take a punt on the VHS hunt. I don't care what you say. Mark is not a.
We're still waiting for voicemails to say what you're not a.
Oh God, I'm not going to get bored of that, am I? Anyway, so this week, obviously, with it being a Jaws episode, you would assume I would have a mass collection of Jaws VHS. The funny thing is, I don't. The reason being is that they're extremely expensive to buy and very rare. And for those of you who follow my page, know that I only really collect X rentals, which come in a big box format. And I'm really OCD about how everything lines up on the shelf. But however, I do have an original copy of Jaws. This is a retail later release 25th anniversary, which has a load of cool behind the scenes extras and documentary footage on it. It's a really, really cool tape. It's not one I keep on display purely because, again, it's not big box X rental, and I don't want anything to be ununiform on the shelf, but it's a very, very cool tape and it's got some interesting documentary stuff on it. However, I do have some other cool Jaws related stuff that I wanted to share with you this week that I don't have a lot of Jaws related stuff, but I do have stuff. I have this game, which is awesome. This is a PS2 version of
Jaws Unleashed.
Unleashed.
Oh,
It's a very,
man.
very expensive game to get hold of these days because it's become quite a commodity. But it's a cool game. If you get the opportunity to pick this up in one of your local retro gaming stores, I would recommend getting it and just kicking back and enjoying the shit out of this because it's a fun game to play. And then finally, my last little bit of Jaws merchandise is an original copy of Jaws novella, to the point where that is this old that the pages are also starting to deteriorate slightly. This is a first edition release, and I have to give a massive shout out to Jim from Jim's Retro Emporium, who sent me this copy to add to my shelf of my collection. It's a really, really interesting book. There's a lot of different variations to what happens in the movie, to what happens in the novelization. And again, that's another recommendation. If you are a big Jaws fan and you haven't read the Peter Benchley version of the story, I would recommend getting this. You could probably pick this up on like Kindle or even audiobook these days, so you don't have to be a nostalgia whore like I am and pay over the roof to get a copy of it and just listen to a modernized version of it or read a modernized version of it. But yeah, cool. That's my Jaws collection that I wanted to showcase this week. But however, even though this is my segment, I can see some Jaws stuff behind you, Scott.
There's a Jaws board game behind me, but I'm not getting it out. Instead, I'm going to talk about the fact that I realized in my collection that I didn't own Jaws 2 or Jaws 3D on DVD.
Wow.
So I ordered Jaws 2 because Jaws 2 was like £1. I was like, great, I'll get that. Jaws 3D on DVD, not only is it not particularly easy to find, but it is fucking expensive, like way more expensive. Like it's double what it would have been when they retailed it.
Wow. So you're talking 40, 50 quid just for a Jaws DVD?
Yeah, just under. I have ordered a copy. I done that. I sat there and went, I don't need it. I'm paying for a wedding. I can't afford it. And by the time I'd had this internal like conversation with myself, I'd already checked out and it was like being shipped. So
what
yeah,
I tend to do in that situation, where if it's stuff that I'm like umming and ahhing about, I'll add it to my saved searches on either eBay and stuff like that. I'll wait till I've had a couple of beers, and then money is endless.
Yeah,
I'm a dangerous man on eBay after a few beers.
Yeah, no, I done the I can't really I literally had an internal conversation while I was going through the like motions of clicking boxes, click checkout and went, fuck it, it'll be all right.
We'll deal with that later.
I'll worry about that next month. So when that arrives, I will show it and I will go, I've now got Jaws 3D. But that, everybody, was the VHS hunt.
Let's take a punt on the VHS hunt. I don't care what you say. Mark is not a...
I reckon we can get a band to record. It's so acoustic. We can get a band to re-record that for us.
I could play that. I reckon. Give me an hour. I reckon I could play that.
If you can play it, like play it and then sing it, and we will replace the audio with yours.
I'm not doing that because I dislike it.
You play it, I'll sing it. If you learn to play it, I will sing it. That sadly is the end to another episode. And one thing we found out this year is our new format has actually reduced our episode time. But I went back and listened in. What we've done with this new format is we're actually giving you more review, more information, and less bloat. So we're giving you the same amount as we were before, but it's taken us less time to deliver it, which I'm really pleased with that.
I think so. It's cut a bit of the bloat out and made the episode flow more consistently from start to finish. I think it's a better version of what it was prior. But again, this is your show, guys. So if you prefer the older format to the newer format, give us feedback. Let us know what you think. How do you find the new format? Is it working better for you? Are you pissed off that there is limited runtime? Or are you happy that we've made changes that make the show flow more consistently?
Listener numbers say that they're happy.
Well, there you go then.
That is the end of this episode. We're going to be back next Tuesday and we're going to be bringing you an amazing review with our first guest of 2026, which is Kate from Down Under. Kate chose the movie for this. It's one of her Patreon perks, and she picked Alien 3.
Yes.
Another movie that is universally hated, apart from by you, me, and Kate.
I don't dislike any of the movies in the Alien franchise. I know I'm spoke regularly about how I'm a Prometheus guy. Like, I love the lore building within those later movies. But yeah, man, I think Alien 3, if I was to do a ranking list, would probably make the top end of the ranking, to be honest with you. I'd be surprised to see it even floating around the middle for me.
Yeah, great movie. But that's next week. So until then, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next Tuesday.
See you later, guys.
You want to die tonight?
You're on podcast. You're on podcast. Late at night, I tune into your show where you talk horror with a unique flow. Your voice is like sirens, draws me in as you pick apart movies on murder and sin. Scott and Mark set the scene. I hang on every word, lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's fucking long round ups. You're on podcasts, horror movie reviews, sharing facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after you fled. You're on podcasts.